Maybe play that sound effect.
Yes, it's only 2 minutes. Just wait. You can write in your chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this camera?
What I was saying is maybe play that sound effect, like, ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to begin.
Huh?
If you play that sound effect, people will know that we're live and that it's coming. There's the power.
Play that sound now.
Yeah.
You did it.
Just check that everything's good. I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's do this!
Hello, Nathalie. I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm glad you got the memo. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I got the packet here. Yeah.
And I see you even have Christmas decoration behind you. That is amazing.
Yes. My wife did that.
Oh, thank you, Amanda.
She wanted to make sure the show looked festive. Yeah.
That is great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. This is fantastic. We are here. It's been quite hectic behind the scenes, as you heard right at the beginning as we went live. Apologies for that. It's been a bit crazy on our side because we haven't had a lot of power. So we're scrambling, but we're here. We're here, we're good, we're festive, and we are super excited to get this show on the road. We want to talk about a few things first before we go into the main show and get really crazy. There's Robert saying, hello, Robert.
Hello, Robert.
I know where you are. We got a couple of things that we want to chat about, or that I want to chat to you about, Ritchie. And
okay.
Then we will have a trivia question. And then we are going out, all out in the main show. We have a bumper program, so sit back, kick back, get yourself a drink, get yourself comfortable. We might be here for a while. Hi, Andreas. Thank you so much for joining us. Andreas has submitted his first images for this show, so thank you so much. And thank you to everyone else for submitting images. They are absolutely fabulous. We enjoy them.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
And we have a few sound effects. We have new sound effects. We hope that you will enjoy them. I'm not quite sure what I unleashed or not, so my apologies. We'll see how that goes. Hi, Eva. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for your awesome images. And
this is a very special show today. We're super excited to get festive and to do things that we've never done before. Things never attempted before live anywhere. So, I hope you're excited. I hope all you out there are as absolutely excited as we are because you're in for a treat.
Fantastic.
There you go. Yes, I actually think that we are kind of like sort of defying gravity today. We are attempting to defy gravity because not only have we been struggling with power outages, etc., which has made preparation a bit challenging, but we have live guests on the show. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but five. 5 live guests that we will chat to, so that it is absolutely fantastic. And in addition to that, we will also attempt at building a recipe live. So that will be super cool, and we will need all your help for that. So please, we have put the link into the comments already, and we will share it again in case you haven't seen it yet, so that you can, participate in the poll. It is a separate browser page that will open. So please get yourself set. You have another 13 minutes and 13 seconds to do this. Ready for our polls and questions and everything that we want to do there. So get up and running, and we can't wait to run that. We've never done this before, like Ritchie said, so we're a little bit nervous and anticipate, maybe a glitch here or there, but
say no more.
We should be okay.
Say no more.
Yes. Okay. I get that. Yeah.
Hello, Bo. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much for being here with us and for witnessing whatever it is that we'll come up with. Whatever it is, we hope it will be entertaining. Yes, and as always, we want to hear from you, as you're watching this.
Then we got William who's tuning in, and my tripod leg is blocking this one. Seraphim? Seraphim Photography, yeah.
Yes, it is. Is listening on the road. Someone's listening on a train. So that's all super cool.
We got if somebody was on an airplane, we'd have planes, trains, and automobiles, which would seem very appropriate for the season.
Yo, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And that's super tech and 21st century kind of stuff, which is really cool. We're cycling through all the sound effects clearly already.
Apparently,
but Ritchie, I cannot believe it. For me, Christmas came early, basically like yesterday, in time for the show.
Oh,
I got it. I finally have my own copy.
The XT5.
Yes, it is the 5. Obviously,
there it is.
Our focus and whatever. But it says 5. It does actually say 5.
You got the silver one.
Yes, I did.
It's the best one.
I did get the silver one, and I thought, we can just take a few moments to just exchange first impressions. Mine are like very few, but there are a few that I wanted to share, and you've you've written quite a number of things already and shared with people, so that's really cool. But I wanted to speak about that because the very first thing that happened to me, and that is maybe something that's important for people from South Africa, is we've got power issues, etc. Hi, Enrico. I'm so glad you're here. And Carl Rive's also here. Oh, nice hats. Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yes. And so what I've noticed when I, wanted to start up my camera, etc., that, and this is common knowledge because it was the same already on the XT4, that it doesn't come with a battery charger, but that you get a cable and you must connect your camera to the mains in order to charge the battery. Now, I don't know how you feel about that, Ritchie, but for me, to plug anything into mains is like, gets the heart racing because could be dangerous. Our power isn't great and it goes up and down, so you could really damage your gear. So I don't recommend that to anyone.
Yeah, I really wish Fujifilm had included a charger. You're spending all this money. A charger would have been very, very simple and nice to include with it. I do recommend getting a charger. I have, because my wife has the XT4, which is actually what I'm filming this on right now. So we bought a third party, a 2-dock battery charger. And that's a lot better because the other problem is even if you're like, well, the USB is okay, I'm okay charging it, but if your battery runs dead and you're wanting to, charge a battery, you can't do that and use the camera simultaneously.
Exactly. So so that's a bit of a thing. So that was also, I hadn't even turned my camera on yet, and I already ordered a battery charger for it. And just in case people don't, especially in our parts of this world, I do not recommend you charge your camera into the mains because our power supply is just not great. So
you don't want to damage the camera.
So that was the first thing that I really wanted to share. And I'm glad to hear that you also use an external battery charger.
Yeah.
I think in general that is really good practice. And but I'm not wanting to take too much time of this because at the same time we are still trying to also do a trivia question.
Okay.
So we will see when that is coming up. So when we get there, we will switch over.
I wonder what sound effect we'll get when that comes up. I'm sure there'll be something.
Yeah, we will see. Don't well, maybe we will hear like 3 all at once or something. So let's just pretend we don't know.
So I mentioned that I was filming this. I'm filming with the XT4 right now, broadcasting on that. I was going to use the XT5 for that, but in our show prep, after 45 minutes, it shut itself down for overheating. So the XT4, interestingly enough, I forgot to shut it off. It stayed on overnight. It's still going. So I really think that like the XH1 and the XT4 are cameras, maybe probably the XT3 too. I don't know for sure, but they'll go for days. They're just workhorses. Yes. The XT5, the fact that it had overheating issues after 45 minutes was a little bit disappointing. So for those thinking about using the camera for video, if you're going to be doing longer shots, interviews, live broadcasts, that kind of stuff, it might not be the right camera.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, D-Car. Thank you for joining us. Yes, so that is interesting. A bit unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is. And but in general, I think you are also quite happy and excited to shoot. Shooting with it and to making recipes here, there, and everywhere.
It's a fun camera.
Yes. So because the funny thing is, because I had to wait for so long, and I read everything online and whatever, and I was quite anxious because there are so many, obviously when you review a camera, I guess you need to point out the weaknesses, etc., etc. So I was, quite apprehensive opening and checking it out and, this first feel or whatever. And Thomas says the XT5 is much smaller. A lot of people have said, it's smaller in size and this and that. I don't have an XT4. I tested it, but that's a long time ago. So my memory for that
it's a little smaller. Yeah.
It's gone. But I must say, I don't really I feel that it feels really good. I mean, my hands are not small, but they're not really big either. And I really enjoy the feel of it. And what I absolutely love is the shutter. The sound that the shutter makes and the feel that you get when you press the shutter, I do love that. So I must say, I'm in love. I absolutely am super excited and very glad to, to get started from here. But we've got a trivia question, so we'll carry on with this just now. But we want to know what is considered to be the most profitable profession. Okay.
A CEO of a major company. I'd say, if you found like Amazon or something like that, maybe PayPal and Tesla, or Microsoft, Apple, your founder on one of those, that's the most profitable profession. But I'm assuming this is related to photography.
I wonder.
So maybe it's asking what is the most profession within photography.
Yes.
I'm guessing that's the actual question.
Yes. So let's look at it that way. So if you have a guess, then let us know. It's just for fun. So you can just let us have our guesses. I mean, your guesses, of course. Thomas says the XT5 is... yes, obviously the XT5 has now come on the market, so other cameras have become cheaper. That is, Yeah,
XT4, XT3 is probably a good time to... Maybe XT2 is a good time to pick one up if you're interested.
Yeah. If you are not in the most profitable photography profession and need to look at your budget, maybe that's an option. But if you are in a very profitable photography profession, then then you can tell us what that is. And
I'm going to guess like fine art. I think of something like these pictures that sell for a couple $1 million. You get a print that sells for $3 million or whatever. That's something like that. That's got to be the most profitable. That's my opinion. What do you think, Nathalie?
Well, you'd probably. Quentin is saving me. I have a few more moments. He thinks retouches. Okay, that's an interesting.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
but I could imagine maybe something. Oh, it used to be like big studio production magazine type kind of thing. So I'm not so sure. Stephen, hello, Stephen. Stephen thinks model photographers.
Okay, so that's like taking pictures of like miniature, like trains and stuff, you know.
Could be interesting. That is not a bad guess. Definitely fashion photographers. Yes, Carl. Yes, fashion. Oh. Absolutely. Yes. I know.
We're being festive.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Also, I know that Stephen has been caught up at work, but as we can see, he's now here. So, all's good.
All is good. Yay!
Thanks for joining us, Stephen. Yes, Stephen will be on our show a little bit later. And it's already starting in just over a minute. How quickly did that happen? We don't even have the answer yet.
Yeah, time is flying.
Yeah, sorry, that was me and talking about the camera and the this and the that and everything. Andreas's guess is photographing celebrities. Yes, that's very possible. But let us, I actually have the answer in my hand. Let me just see which one it is.
Do we have a drum roll?
Do we have a drum roll? I don't know. Do we?
Well, I guess not.
Almost. It says that marketing or social media is the most profitable photography profession in the 21st century. I guess so. I didn't think of that at all. But there you have it. I don't think anyone got that right, but that's fine. There is more guessing and more answers and questions and whatever coming your way. So stick with it. Bring us our comments. We are going to jump into the main show that we will be running late now because I can't finish speaking in 1 second. But that's okay. We will see you just now in the main show. And I can't wait to get this party started. Thank you, Ritchie.
See you in a minute.
Let's do this!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of SOOC. This very festive, super awesome episode, our last one for the season. We are super excited to be here. We are so grateful to have you all here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is an absolute pleasure and honor to be speaking to everyone out there. If you are here for the first time, then let me just tell you, you have joined at the right time because we are celebrating a year of phenomenal JPEGs straight out of camera in this show that we host once a month where we talk about everything and anything SOC straight out of camera. And yeah, I'm coming to you from Johannesburg in South Africa. And my name is Nathalie. And I am here together with none other than Ritchie from FujiX Weekly, who is joining us from Phoenix, Arizona. And we are here for a bumper show. And we are, as we decided in the pre-show, defying gravity today.
Say
Hello.
no more.
Are you here with us? Ho, ho,
Hello,
ho.
hello, Nathalie. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I am wearing this festive beanie here, this Santa hat, but it is not cold outside whatsoever. It's hot and sunny. I say hot; it's in the 60s. That's probably hot for a lot of people.
Yes.
When I lived in Utah, this would have been shorts and t-shirt weather. So,
yes, yeah. Likewise.
so
T-shirt.
everybody out there. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know how cold it is or warm where you're at. And look forward to hearing those answers.
Yes, absolutely. We are here to chat with you and to you. And this is all about our audience, especially in this particular episode. You were talking about the heat and whatever. And, you know, the same is happening over here. I don't know how you feel on your head, but it's warm. These hats, they make it warm. So, wow. Okay.
Yep.
Let's see how that
Yeah,
goes.
between that and all the lights, you know, it is a little. I got 2 layers going. It's yeah, it's a little warm.
Yes, but be that as it may, depending on where you're tuning in from, is it cold? Is it hot? Has it been snowing by you guys? We have thunderstorms and rain, and it's really hot. It's in the 30s. That is Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So it is actually really, really hot. So what's the weather like by you, where you are tuning in from? Do share that with us while we're getting, you know, your fingers warmed up for all the comments that we want to hear from you later on in the show. Aw, thank you,
No
Joe.
way!
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Joe.
This is great. Yeah, we've been festifying our intros a little bit. Oh, and Subography is saying it's been minus 15 in Norway. Wow. Okay.
That's cold.
It's very cold. And 3 degrees in Germany. Sorry, Robert. I'm sorry that it is so cold.
It's a little chilly.
I can recommend wearing a Santa hat. It keeps you warm. And I wonder where Williams is tuning in from. 45. Oh, that's Fahrenheit. 45.
Say no more.
7 degrees is also, you know, not very warm. 53 in Maryland. So yeah, so this is really cool. There's a whole lot of different kinds of weathers all around. Enrico, who I know is tuning in from Italy, has plus 13. So that's quite nice. Williams from Ohio. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Is that where the fog was? Is that
international?
The fog? Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't know. Maybe there's fog there. Is there fog there?
I love photographing in the fog. It was actually foggy here a couple days ago, and it was so nice. It's very rare that it does that.
Yes, that is nice. Yeah, we don't get that here often either. But anyway, be that as it may, if you have any questions, comments, if there's anything you want to ask us or want to comment on, please don't hold back. There is lots that we want to know from you today. And yes, Ritchie, you're right. It was really foggy where William's tuning in from, though. So that's really cool. Nice.
Very, very fortunate.
Yes. We do have a couple of things that we want to talk to you about. The most important thing, though, is that we have live guests. Not 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we have 5 and confirmed 5 live guests with us here today. And we're going to chat to them and see, you know, what they do with recipes and celebrate you as a community, as an audience, as, you know, just 2 years of SOC, so we are feeling super festive, and we want to, enjoy
Let's
that.
make some noise!
Yes, let's make a lot now. But before we get into that, we just quickly want to touch on a few topics that we normally discuss. Because the 10 years of X-Mount is coming to a close, and I think the theme is really cute, so I wanted to include that. They are wanting you to shoot the theme of love. Very appropriate. So you can shoot anything that you think represents love in your photographs, and you can submit that to social media. If you don't really know anything about 10 years of X-Mount, you can just go to the website and check it out there, and you will see the themes also for the whole year. Maybe something you can do over the holidays if you're looking for some inspiration. And moving on from there, we're coming to the important part, because
let's make some noise.
Now let's make some noise, because we've got our live guests with us, and we want to introduce them to you, and make some noise and get to them. And
we've had live guests before, but only one at a time. So this is different in that we have 5 at a time. And so this is really special, because this show is about, you guys in the audience. It's not about us. So to have you guys, a community, come and join us live 5 at a time, that's just really cool.
Yes. That's why we're defying gravity today. And we are very excited, and please bear with us because we have never done this before. So let's see how that goes. All right. Who do we have joining us first? We have Dan joining us from Washington. And then okay.
Somewhere. There he is. Hey, Dan.
Hello, Dan. It's great to have you with us. And who else is there with us? We have Mario.
Hi. Hello, Mario.
Hello, Mario. He's joining us from Germany. That is absolutely fantastic. And then we have Enrico.
Hello, Enrico.
He's joining us from Italy. And we have Robert. Also joining us from Germany. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here.
Hello, Stephen.
Yes, I'm very glad to see you, Stephen. Stephen was caught up in some work and had to dash over here quickly. So
blah blah blah.
You made it just
blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
Okay, I must move.
Dashing sounds very appropriate for this festive episode.
Yes.
He was dashing through the snow to get here.
Yes. We're gonna break out into song just now. Yes. Yep. And then I also wanted to quickly mention we were supposed to have 6 guests on the show, but unfortunately Simon, who was supposed to be our 6th guest, he fell ill, and he's really sad that he can't be with us here today. But we wanted to give a shout out to him, and we hope that he's feeling better very soon. And you don't need to worry. Shame. Yes. Big hugs from all of us. We hope you feel better. And he will actually join us in February because he's also got a lot of things that he wants to share with us. So we will have him on our show in February. Yes, there is another season coming. And you can look forward to, everything that he has to share with us. But now we are moving... We are doing this show with the 5 of you, and it's absolutely wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. We know this was a big ask and a lot of time that you invested. So can we have a big virtual round of applause for all our...
Say no more.
Okay. And we will be chatting to all of you a bit more in detail and get to know you a little bit and see some photographs.
Let's make some noise!
There we go. Let's make some noise for all...
Some digital noise.
Yes, exactly. Okay. But we are going to move on. Hey, David, who's also been a guest on our show before, says that's an awesome lineup. Yes. Thank you. I think so too. And we should jump in and start with our first two guests. What do you say, Ritchie?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. What's that sound effect?
We are the sound effect show today. Bear with us. Alrighty-ho. There we have, nice and big and in color, Dan Farrow, who's joining us from the States. Another warm welcome to you, Dan. And Dan is actually, he shoots on a GFX mostly and straight out of camera, so that's really cool and different. He shoots a lot of street photography and has a YouTube channel, so you need to check out his video. And then over to Mario.
Yep. So Mario is joining us from Germany. Let's see. I got his bio right here. So, he's married and has 2 children. And,
no way!
Yeah.
Yes,
I have 4 kids. So, yeah. Anyways, but it's not about me. Mario, he started out with a Sony A6400 and a couple lenses, but was never happy with the output. And then he switched to Fujifilm in May of last year. So, welcome to the club, And he's got a Fujifilm X100V that he's using. He used to photograph Scotland. I don't know if I've seen those pictures, so I need to see those pictures, Mario.
You're in for a treat, all of you.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Mario and Dan. We're excited for have you on here and for this episode, and so this is all really, really great.
Yes, that is fantastic. And we're going to have a look at Dan's work first. And before we get started with that, there's a little clip that Dan has agreed to us sharing, which is a bit of an oh no situation. And maybe some of you can relate, because when we get photographing, we get very excited, and maybe then we forget what's all around us. I know how that feels, Dan, don't you worry. So let's share that clip with you and see what happened to Dan.
Shooting a great film profile today. Ektachrome 100 SW, Fuji X Weekly. I have no idea. We're shooting it on a GFX. Let's see how it works.
Oh.
I've tried, but it's an awful awakening in any man's life to look in the mirror in total surprise at the hair on my shoulders and the age in my eyes.
Fantastic.
Well, Dan, it looks like you're okay from that fall. That you survived it, maybe with just some bruises.
Okay, while we're getting Dan's sound on, just be for a second. But yes, it's. I hope he's okay. I think he's fine. You can see the whole video on his channel. So go and subscribe to Dan and, show him some love for that.
Yeah, give him some thumbs up and maybe a comment or two on his videos.
Yes, absolutely. And then obviously also on the photographs, because he went out shooting the recipe that, all of us have been shooting for this last month. And, the images, I think they're really cool that he showed in there. And we will look at some more images just now, as soon as Dan found his voice. And then, I think while Dan is looking to find the sound, we will hop over to you, Mario.
Hi. You hear me? Great.
All right. Hope you're not too cold. You look like you're nice and warm and comfy there where you are, even though it's cold outside.
Yes, in my room it's warm.
Fantastic. Yeah, there's something to be said about central heating, Ritchie. Well, don't you think so?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, here it's almost air conditioning weather.
And by us, it's just the temperature, whatever it is outside, it's inside. But anyway, so you were so kind to also share a couple of images with us, and we can see oh yes. So you didn't fall and crumble, but rather you did some other stint, and I'm sure you will fill us in on what's happened in the image and other things, and what you enjoy shooting, etc., etc. So let's have a look at your first image. And as you can see, Mario's got superpowers. He can levitate.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
No way!
Sorry. This picture I was taking in, or my friend was taking in Scotland. We were there at the end of October and made a trip there for a weekend. And yes, this was top north of Scotland. It's named John O'Groats. Probably some of you know. And I was there 6 years ago, and it was a good memory yes, it was a great journey and also a memory, the journey 6 years ago. So yes, it was quite a fun. And yes, we made this picture there. So I think I love to capture the moment, some moments which are unpredicted, but I also like to somehow pose for a picture, and this picture was posed, but yes, it's like I want to frame it for myself. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So I like to take photograph.
Yeah. And tell me, so you have been shooting this on Ektachrome 100 SW already, and you're shooting with an X100V, and I think there it is.
It's nice.
There it is.
Let's make some noise.
And so you shoot only straight out of camera mainly, or what's your favorite? And how do you create your image?
To be honest, my favorite recipe is something like Ektachrome 64. I think Ektachrome 64, it has a warm tone. It's good, the best for family. As a father, I take the most of my pictures are family pictures. So outside, inside, and so on. And Ektachrome is very good for that. But mostly I do a quick edit afterwards. I use Lumina for that to make the crop and maybe some shadows, highlights, but nothing more than that. Yes. So I almost use the recipe, Ektachrome, and yes, this is my favorite recipe, but I also like to experiment, like in Scotland, black and white, Ilford, HP5 Plus. So yes, these are my go-to recipes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Should we have a look at another image?
Sure.
Because
yes.
I think I'd like to experiment as well a little bit.
Yes, this is Isle of Skye in the background. So we were very, very lucky in the end of October to have such nice weather, and we made a little walk, and then locals came and said, "Oh, you are so lucky today. Mostly the mountains are not visible, so this was crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. You got
And
nicknamed Super Mario.
Fantastic.
yeah, that's funny. And I want to point out that the software limitations of what we're using in YouTube and stuff, the highlights look like probably to the viewers out there that they're blown out, but just you have to imagine that they're not.
Yeah.
The song we sing every month. And just a quick welcome back, Dan. It's glad you're back with us. Hello.
Hey.
So we will chat to you just now. Thank you. Yes, but Mario, tell me. So you say that you shoot mostly with your X100V, and what is it that you like most about it? As in, like, when you're shooting, what is it that draw you to shooting with it and the recipes?
Yeah. I like the easiness of the camera once you got all the parameters, but also it's not so big, so the children are not distracted by the big camera, and it's also fixed because you don't have to buy any more lenses, and you have the setup, and you train on this setup, so your it's to go camera for all different of photography. And so I also once photographed a wedding, and I like to go into the forest with it and to do photographs in the city. So it's just great. It was a really good investment.
Nice. Yes, and you can be glad that you got your hands on one, because I
Oh
believe
yeah.
they are the thing these days. Absolutely.
Yep.
And then we have one more of Mario's images. Really nice. Such a nice travel scene and a beautiful, landscape, obviously.
Yes, it's also in Scotland. This is Scottish nature. Scotland nature. It's very, very crazy. It's just to enjoy.
Yeah, I love that you included yourself in the picture. That's really cool.
Yeah, I do think it's very, very, very nice, and I'm sure there is lots more to talk about. But I think for now, thank you for sharing that with us, Mario. It's really, really cool to hear from you. And it's also
thank you for the invitation.
Let's make some noise!
Everybody, thank you to Mario. And let's hop over to Dan.
Thanks, Mario.
While he's here.
Bye.
And apart from the video that we've seen, he's also prepared a couple of images because, like we said, he shoots with a GFX. How is that for bookends, going from an X100V to a GFX? Excellent. Dan, over to you. Why do you shoot with a GFX?
Well, my primary camera is actually an X Pro 3. It's just the last 4 or 5 months that I've been experimenting with the GFX, and I shoot it a lot like an X100V. I mean, it's a 45 millimeter f2.8, which really puts you at 35 millimeters. So it's just a massive sensor on, 100V. That's how I use it. So.
That's so interesting. That is really, really cool. And and you shoot straight out of camera most of your stuff as well.
Every chance I get, it's so much easier not to edit. For me, seeing the recipe through the light there and then is really important, because you get to see how the recipe interacts with what you're shooting and adjust your exposure and get all that, get it framed up, and it's a fabulous way to shoot.
Mm-hmm. And what do you enjoy shooting most? We're looking at a street scene here of some sort.
I'm limited in my range that I shoot, so I shoot everything I can walk to, everything I can get to. I do photography of.
Okay, that's very nice. And what are we looking at here? Your black and white image.
That's with the X Pro 3, shot with Mark Adams' M10 monochrome recipe, which I really love because it eliminates all of the digital noise and the grain. It's a very smooth kind of clear black and white. This was done with a slow shutter, intentionally.
No way!
Yes, and my goal in doing ICM, which is independent camera movement, is to still capture the presence and everything about the scene, just confuse it a little bit with some motion, and get those blacks in there, which is really hard to get black in straight out of camera. For me anyways, it's hard to get those really dark black tones. So I was happy with this because of the long exposure and how it all worked out. So just a fun shot.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Lucky shot.
Yeah, I love the movement. And in the trend nowadays, not I'm saying you're trendy, or trying to follow trends, or anything like that. But the trend is for images that aren't sharp, right? That have blur and motion and all that. That's what's really in right now. And so, this image is really great, and falls within that really well. And I see a lot of these blurry images that aren't tack sharp, and they're not as good as this. They don't have the emotion that this one has. I mean, sometimes they do, but a lot of times they just look like somebody didn't know what they were doing. But this looks like it's very intentional, and I hope this is coming across. I mean this as a big compliment. So
oh no, I hear you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was very intentional. In fact, I can even go further into it that I know I had an ND filter on there to get that shutter down, and oddly enough, I used a flash, which I think is where some of those sparkles come from. I had a little Godox flash on top of the X Pro 3, and I think that kind of gave it a little bit of spark of sharpness, maybe where if it were all blurred throughout, it wouldn't have, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
fantastic.
That he also finds that underexposing helps with straight out of camera.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
And then we're looking at some other good stuff here.
This is Captain Look, straight up. It's his 0 hour recipe. I love Captain Look. Emmanuel Sanders does some really intricate, fun recipes. And this one involves an FLD filter, which is a fluorescent light meant to counter fluorescent light, yet the recipe has fluorescent light. So the recipe contradicts itself, which is really interesting what you can capture within it. And then I've also got a 10% Cine Bloom on there as well. And this is just a scene that I walked up on, and it's one of those where you go, oh my gosh, the lights, the people, you just almost freak out because there it is, and I got it. So I was really happy with the straight out of camera results in that, and it's a very moody kind of photo.
Fantastic.
Yes, I just wanted to say that. And you clearly enjoy experimenting a lot.
Yes.
We can tell. That is great. Yes, and you're inspiring Robert to also try some camera movement. So yes, let's all do that over the festive season. But we have another image, and that one is shot with a recipe that we've shot with this last month, the Ektachrome 100 SW. And I believe this was created during you making your video that we saw at the beginning of this. Let's just slide through to the next image.
There it is.
And you, so tell us a little bit more about this.
It has more to do with the light. than anything. I think I really liked how the light was hitting the tracks, and this is with the GFX, and it's that 4:3 aspect ratio that I really have been enjoying in the GFX, and I love the compositional options within that 4:3 frame, and it's just larger than life sometimes. And so this is one of those that really accentuates the reach of that 4:3 frame, and you can just see it heading off into Foreverland. And then the way the light hit the tracks, and it still had, I loved how the Ektachrome worked in the brush and stuff off to the side, because it really gave it a nice wintry kind of glow. The Ektachrome was really fun to shoot. I really enjoyed that recipe on the GFX. It worked quite well, and in fact, Ritchie, you tuned me into that as to how to make compensations within the GFX system to make the recipe work, and you were spot on, dude.
Okay.
You're awesome, man.
Well, thanks. And this is a really lovely image. Absolutely love this photograph. It needs to be printed. I hope it is. It needs to be hung on a wall somewhere.
That's the other thing with the GFX, is I wanted to get a JPEG file that was absolutely massive, and that medium format really calls for a big print. And so that's been one of my goals with the GFX, is to get some of those really great light shots that I can print out in a large format, and really have my way with it. So
nice. And I know that you said when we were preparing for the show that you don't really want to drag it out, but you do have a handicap, which I would like you to share with us, because I find it absolutely inspirational looking at your images.
Yeah, I do. I'm legally blind. In the U.S., that makes me disabled, so I'm a disabled American. As of about 8 years ago, I through that, you lose a lot of ability in life. You have to decide kind of what you're gonna not pursue, and then what you are going to pursue. The photography that I had already done, and if I stay sharp and practice and keep working composition, trust the camera, trust the recipes, trust the light, I can do photography. I see not great, but I see okay through an electronic viewfinder. That's all I use. I don't use an LCD at all. I bring the images straight into an iPad, and I put the iPad this close, and I use x5 reading glasses to edit my videos on an iPad. So there's a lot of trust in the cameras. I have to trust the GoPros and the Pocket 2s and those to catch things. And then, luckily I knew how to edit prior to this. So I had done some video editing prior, so it wasn't new to me. And so basically I'm just constantly fine-tuning the skills I had, honing them in and directing them towards photography. So.
Thank you for sharing that, Dan. I mean, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yes.
And it's incredible that, this is opening up photography, using straight out of camera and recipes and JPEGs and all that stuff. Is just, opens, or it keeps, for you, it keeps that window open. It keeps the door open for you. Mm-hmm. For other people, maybe it's opening doors that they didn't know existed and stuff. So that's really inspirational, really amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I really enjoy, like I said, seeing the light through the recipes is really key for me, because it really sets the scene, and I can, make adjustments to that. So, and I'd much rather learn about all of that beforehand, before I go out, than deal with it in post-processing. So there's that part too. So.
Yes, absolutely phenomenal.
Let's make some noise!
Thanks.
And I know we could, still talk for hours here, but would like us to move on, because other people have also shot a lot of images over the last month. We've seen some of them, well, we've seen all of them in the pre-show, in the slideshow, and we will play that again at the end of the show, whenever that's going to be today. And we always choose some to have a closer look. So Mario and Dan will stay with us here for a moment. And here's proof that we don't look at who submitted the images when we select, because here's another one of your images, Mario.
Yeah.
So that was a really amazing capture. Well, actually, chose this as one of his. I actually keep quiet.
Yeah, tell us about this, Mario. This is it's such an interesting picture.
Yes, this was. We were also lucky to meet this co. So also the locals said to us, normally they are not sitting beneath at the side of the street. You have to walk to them. So this was a lucky journey. And yes,
absolutely.
Moment to capture.
Is that a Scottish Highland?
Yeah. Originally a Scottish Highlander in Scotland.
Wow.
That's a
Yeah,
great.
that's really cool. And Nathalie said that, we don't look at the names when we pick the image. I actually originally had picked one of Nathalie's pictures that ended up in the group, and not even realizing it was her. So I had to take it out. But but yeah, so we're happy that you're able to be here to talk about your pictures. That worked out really well.
Oh, that is funny.
It's a great photo, Mario. Really nice.
Thank you.
I love it. I love how the clouds, kind of coming down, the head centered. It's got a lot of power to it. I love that the mouth is open. It's just great.
Yeah. How did you get it to open the mouth?
I spoke to him, to the co. We talked.
Nice. Oh, and Thomas saying great shots. He visited the Isle of Skye.
Wow, he will visit.
Yeah. In April.
Oh, great decision.
Yes, yeah. The decisions of picking gear. And David is also saying great shot, Mario. Thank you, guys. Thank you, the audience. It's great to hear your comments as well. So keep that up, keep that up. As we're moving along, we've got more images that have been submitted. And next up is William. I'm glad you're in the audience as well. I hope you're still with us, William. I want to, give a big shout out to you. I think this is a really nice, interesting scene. There's so many things happening, and I absolutely love how this red train jumps out of the picture. Really cool mood and everything in it, I think. So well done, William.
Yep, that red train is really just makes that picture.
Yeah. Very, very nice. And there's more images.
So Bjorn, he sent us this one. It's kind of an abstract industrial scene with some pipes and metal and stuff, and with some contrast. You see a little bit of the how the recipe kind of handles that high contrast scene with the deep blacks, and then also I like the rusty metal and how the recipe renders those colors, those reds in there, red, orange.
Yes, yeah, it's a really nice abstract, and
it is
very powerful colors. So a good example as to the things that you can shoot with good old Ektachrome. And then there's other things you can shoot with Ektachrome.
Ho, ho, ho!
We love it. Andrea sent us this, and it's Andreas's first submission. So thank you for that. We hope there will be more that we will see from you.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mr. Bean, down pat.
Love Mr. Bean. Yeah, it's such a funny show, and I know it's not Rowan Atkinson, but it's somebody dressed as very, very convincingly as him.
Yes, and looking convincingly too.
Say no more.
Thank you so very much for your submission as well, Andreas.
Simon, he was supposed to be here today. He wasn't, but this picture is just really striking. It's almost like something you would see in a magazine article or something like that. There's more to this story, and it captured my attention, and it makes you want to know more of the backstory to it.
Yes. So you will have to tune in February to hear more of the story. Yeah, but I think there's just so much to it. So very well captured.
Very nice picture, Simon.
And we hope you're feeling better, Simon. And moving on to the next image. Oh, there's Andreas, Mr. Bean. Yes, he shot that at the Comic-Con in Stuttgart. That's very
awesome.
cool. You can see, if you want to see more, there are a lot of images on his Instagram. And and Comic-Con is always a really cool, event. I think they happen all over the world. So it's a really interesting place to go and take pictures. And the image that William had submitted is Canal Street in New Orleans. All right, very nice.
Awesome.
I would guess this is in the Caribbean. So, but
all
it's yeah.
Almost. It is a great pleasure, Andreas. Indeed. Alrighty, moving on to the next image. We have a submission from Christian, who sent us this, and I thought it was really to look at some night pictures as well, just to see, I love the composition and, and just the general mood is really, really nice. So well done.
Yeah, the blue light really makes it for me. It is such a classic, gradient of blue just right there in that third. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always heard, I said this before, that every photograph should have like a little surprise in it, a little extra thing that you might not expect there to be there, and for this image it's the blue light.
Yes. The blue surprise.
Yep.
Nice. Thank you, Christian. Thank you for your submission. And that brings us to our feature image. Dan, another great image of yours.
Wait. No, I don't. Dan Allen.
So it's another
Dan
Dan.
Allen.
Yeah,
different Dan.
I wish that was mine. That's fabulous.
It's Texas hot. That's what it is.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm sure that Ritchie's very happy to hear that as well, and probably
and this shows you, and Dan says it right there, this recipe is great at night with city lights, and that's absolutely true. Many years ago, I actually used the film, the Ektachrome 100 SW, for some night photography, and this shot here by Dan Allen reminds me a lot of those pictures that I took so many years ago. But what I love about this picture is just all the different colors that are, the lighting is great, the scene is great, but all the different colors that are in there just really pop, and it's really nice.
Definitely eye-catching. And apparently this restaurant is 101.
No way!
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, this is really awesome. Oh.
Wow.
He just quickly snapped that.
What fortune,
Yes, yeah, at the right time in the right place. Steven's nice shot. Yes. I think we are all now like, ooh, I gotta try that.
Oh my god!
Right.
That's funny.
Jorge has a very good sense of humor. Does this restaurant have very good recipes? Well, I think it's probably got hot recipes. Yes, but thank you everyone for submitting your images. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, thank you.
What you can come up with and create with those recipes. Yes, big up.
Yeah, big round of applause. Yeah.
And we will say thank you in our live draw a little bit later when we get to it. But now we are going a little bit funky here on the screen as we are resizing our frame. We are going to say goodbye to Dan and Mario for now. They will be coming back, but we will, chat to you again. So thank you for your images and all your stories, and we will chat to you later. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you also.
Yep. We'll see you soon. Hey. Yeah, guys out there in the audience, show Dan and Mario some love with some kind comments.
Yes. And they can, now go and breathe and take a sip of water or coffee or whatever. Get the pulse down again, and then we'll check you a little bit later. Thank you.
See ya.
Alrighty ho. And I also want to quickly give a big shout out. Oh, there's Enrico already. Hey, Enrico.
Hello.
Another Christmas hat. How are you doing, Enrico? It's so great to have you here.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure.
In the absolutely beautiful area of Tuscany. I love Tuscany. So, So it's wonderful to have you here. And Enrico, I believe you have been shooting film. This is how you learned. You also had a father who was very passionate about photography. I could so identify with your story. That's nice. And you shot on film, and I believe Kodak disc camera was your first one.
I was gifted of this strange camera when I was very, very young, and it didn't last so much actually. Also because I think that the films didn't last so much in commerce. So
yes, it was
Sorry.
It was a funky camera, and I think Ritchie is busy scratching in the cupboard to get his.
Yeah, that's
no way.
Unfortunately, mine was destroyed when I was a kid because I liked to open it up and see what was inside. So it got lost.
But since then, you've been moving on.
Maybe I need to send this to you. It'll be a Christmas present.
Oh. So you've since you shot still quite a bit on film, but you've been shooting on Fujifilm recently, not so much.
It's a lot of time that I don't shoot film. My first digital reflex was in 2008. It was a Nikon D90. And I used it until 2019, more or less.
Yes.
So once that I started shooting digital, I stopped with the films. It was so much more practical. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got the beautiful recipes to shoot on. And let's have a look at some of the images that you submitted, because you wanted to talk to us a little bit about your favorite recipes that you've been shooting with, that are sort of like your go-to recipes when you go travel and take street photographs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I shot it this summer in India. I have the great luck of traveling a lot for work, and so I always have my camera with me. In this case, I was so lucky that I also had the time to do the tourist. So it was my 5th time in India, but it was the first time that I could actually go somewhere and do the tourist. And so I was in New Delhi, and the Taj Mahal is a couple of hours by car. So I chose to go there. And as you can guess, the place that you see when you get there, it's totally different from the pictures that you see in the postcards. So it was really crowded, full of people. So I had to include people in the pictures. So
yes,
and this looks like something that
case,
you would find in a like old National Geographic magazine or something. It's really good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it was nice to see all these people taking care of the monuments, and it's also because of them that you can enjoy monuments. You can enjoy places. So it's nice to include them in the pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, you shoot with recipes, with different recipes, like this one here.
Yeah, also here I was in Canada for work, and I was in Saint John, that's in the northeast of Canada. And in both cases, both in India and in Canada, I chose to shoot with only one recipe. So in this case, it was Kodacolor, and I walked around that town for a few hours. It was freezing cold. It was like -10 with a very strong wind, but I couldn't just stay in the hotel like my colleagues. They just wanted to stay in the hotel. I took my camera and went out.
Yes. Oh, there's a fantastic comment from Jorge. He's saying, I find it really difficult to photograph places like that. I think he's probably talking about the Taj Mahal and, you know, a touristy place. You've got this image in your head that you want to shoot, and then, you know, you've got all these people. And he says it's an excellent perspective.
Thanks.
Which is
whenever you're
thanks a lot.
Yeah, whenever you're photographing a place that's been photographed, you know, a million times and conceivably captured from every angle, you know, it's really difficult to make like a unique picture. You know, and I always try, and I'm sure everybody out in the audience always tries, but, you know, most of the time you come away with the same pictures that everybody else has. So it's, you know, great job coming out of that with something that's really unique.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so the different recipes that you choose obviously include our beloved Kodak Tri-X 400.
Yeah.
What are we looking at there, Enrico?
This is an old factory. They produced sugar from, I don't know the English word for that vegetable. It was a sugar mill coming from the 19th century. It's here in Tuscany, quite close to where I live. And this is one of my passions. I like to do urbex shootings. So sometimes I actually search for them. Sometimes me and my girlfriend, she's also a very good photographer and better than me, I should say. And we have this passion. So sometimes we are around for other reasons. Then we see something that deserves a visit, and we change our programs and go in. and
Nice.
it's a very nice place. There are very big structures, and this was it seemed like a church, and the contrast deserved a black and white
Yes.
picture. So usually
Yeah.
Kodak Tri-X 400 is my black and white recipe. Unlike color, where you have many different parameters and many different with black and white, more or less is always black and white. So I have one recipe that I like, I enjoy the contrast, I enjoy the texture, the grain. So that's my black and white recipe.
Yeah, such a nice picture
also,
with the mood. I just love it, and I love urbex photography as well. So going to a place, finding places like that is just amazing, and you did a great job of composing it. The the lining up of the lines, the left and the right, and the top, and the little surprise hole at the top. It's really cool.
Right. Yes, that's lovely. Kendra also says stunning image.
Another thing that is how can I say that comes useful with black and white is that you don't have to worry too much about the white balance. So I have found some alternative settings for this image. If I'm not wrong, it calls for incandescent 1 and 9 and 9 blue and red. And I found some settings to use also incandescent 2 and incandescent 3 with 8 and 9 or 7 and 7. They are really, really close because with my camera, I don't have the possibility to save the white balance. So I always try to find different recipes with different white balances so that I can just forget about it and choose the recipe.
It's so much more fun when you can just not worry about adjusting the shift every time you adjust the recipe.
Yes.
That's why I'm seriously. That's why I'm seriously considering changing my X-T3 with an X-T4. Now that the X-T5 is out, there are a lot of used cameras around. Maybe with only 1,000 shots on it. So it's a
good time.
It's the time to change. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Great. Thank you so much, Enrico. This has been really inspirational. Thank you for sharing those photographs. We are going to have a look at some recipes that we have selected that you can shoot now over the holidays. And Enrico, you are staying with us and you're going to have a look as well. And maybe you have shot with some of them already or, are looking forward to experimenting with them. So we've been looking at what you could possibly be encountering over the next couple of weeks while we are hopefully all slowing down and, are able to pick up our camera a little bit more. So we now have a challenge because we've got an additional sensor that we have to include in our recipes.
No way!
Yes, way.
So first one here is for the new X-Trans 5 cameras, which would be the XH2, the XH2S, and of course the XT5. It's a very new recipe, very, very new.
Yes.
It's called Timeless Negative, and it uses the nostalgic negative film sim as the base. But it's really lovely, and I think it'll do really well for people over the holiday season, capturing pictures of Christmas lights or the family opening up presents or whatever you might encounter.
Yes, I've taken one photograph with it, and I absolutely love it already. I think it's beautiful and a different kind of a look. So if some of you in the audience are as lucky as we are and are shooting with an X-T5, it's going to be an interesting festive season. And Tate, here is your smorgasbord of different simulations and recipes that you can use, that we recommend. And if you're not shooting on the latest and greatest, there's also a recipe that we recommend for X-Trans 4 sensors, Superior Premium 400, which I had not looked at all before. But I think there are a couple of people in the audience who have. And yeah, it's also a very interesting, very different kind of a look.
So last Christmas, that whole day from the kids, waking up, going downstairs, opening up presents, seeing the half-eaten cookie from Santa and all that stuff. Throughout the whole day, I used that film simulation recipe, and it worked really, really well. So it's for if you have X Pro 3 or newer. So Enrico, when you upgrade to the XT4, you'll be able to use that film simulation recipe, and I think you'll really like it for just capturing the moments of the Christmas Day or the holiday season.
Yes, but if not, you can also load your Cinestill 800T onto the XT3.
I actually use it quite often for night photography. Usually is my choice.
There you go. And since, at least in the northern hemisphere, there is a lot of night at the moment. So we thought it would be a really good choice, and a lot of opportunity to shoot with it. So you should try it out and see. I'm sure you will absolutely love those results. And then we're going way back, and obviously cannot not include a recipe that's called Winter Slide.
Yep. So this is for X-Trans 2 cameras. So if you have the older model, XT1, X70, something like that, if it's snowing, if it's cold where you're at, it's you're having a white Christmas, this is one that you want to try.
Yes, and you must please try it and tell me what it is like. I will not be able to try that out, because even if the weather is crazy and global warming and all this kind of stuff is happening, but there is no snow going to be, hopefully. If there's snow by us over the festive season, things have gone really crazy.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. But
blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
But if you have, try them out and share them with us. You have a lot of time and hopefully many opportunities to shoot with those. Upload whatever images you like and let us know what recipe you have used. Because, this is what we're giving you until the next show. So take a screenshot if you wish, and photograph away, experiment, and see what you get. And we hope that you will enjoy them.
Let's make some noise!
And we're quickly going to say goodbye, or see you a little bit later, Enrico. Thank you so much for
see you later.
And for joining us.
Thank you.
See you in the field. Well, before you go, Enrico, I wanted to ask, what are you recording on? Because it's got this really cool, like, vintagey look to your video right now. And are you recording this on anything special, or?
No, it's the webcam of my laptop.
Okay, and it's maybe just the lights in your room or something. It has like this 1970s,
yes, I
1980s vibe to it.
Yeah, I just placed because this is my living room and kitchen, so I have a light over here that's too strong. So I placed a light in front of me. So probably that's the reason why it gets a different effect.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it'll be the inspiration for a film simulation recipe.
Yes, Ritchie is taking
Fantastic.
right now. Excellent. Thank you, Enrique.
It's a little bit cold.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
See you.
Yes. See you just now. And we have waiting in the ranks. I hope they're still with us. They are. And
You've been patient. Yay.
Hello there, Robert and Stephen. Thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you for waiting patiently. Robert is joining us from Germany. And yeah, Robert is shooting also a whole lot of straight out of camera stuff. And I think, Ritchie, you have a few notes here on the side.
I have. Yeah, I have the bio.
Tell us a little more.
And so Robert says that he has too many hobbies and is a lazy perfectionist. And I can relate to that. I picked up a point and shoot camera. Yeah. Picked up a point and shoot camera in the 1990s and then moved to digital, a compact digital camera in around 2003. And then in 2013, started shooting with a DSLR and then joined the Fuji X system in 2021, just last year.
Okay.
He likes to shoot what he likes to shoot. Just likes to be in the moment. And let's see here. You mostly photograph nature, man-made objects in nature, cars, motorsports, cityscapes, and do color photography. So that is Robert, and we appreciate you joining us today. Yep.
Yeah. Thank
you for having me.
Yes, it's great. It's great to have you, and it's also great to have you, Stephen. I hope you've had a bit of a chance to catch your breath after you had to rush, from work, since it is the middle of the day for you. So thank you so much for making time and for being here again. For
Fantastic.
Our regular viewers, you will know that Stephen's been with us before. Had a fantastic chat the last time and looked at some beautiful images. Stephen, you shoot both. You shoot digital and you shoot film, and a lot of surf photography. So I'm looking forward to what we'll be treated to today. I mean, I know, but I hope that everybody look forward to it. And we've taken a bit of a different take on your images, because you don't want to talk to us about recipes in particular, but about different lenses. So let's start with Robert. You have the love for one lens that a lot of people don't understand, and you will show us and tell us why that is.
Yes. So I brought 3 pictures to kind of show you what the characteristics are of the lens and why this might be a good choice and not the boring focal lengths everybody's talking about. But actually, I started out with 35 and 23 millimeters, and they both have their good sides and bad sides. But the 27 is maybe the sweet spot for a lot of people. So I thought it might be worthwhile to talk about this one.
Yes, it's fantastic. And in case you don't know, it is what's also referred to as the pancake lens. And I know that Ritchie absolutely hates that lens. He never uses it, ever.
Oh, yeah. It's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have a look at some awesome images in Fujichrome Sensia 100 roll.
Yes, so this was loaded on my XE4 for quite a while. I quite like that recipe. It brings out the colors really, really well in autumn. And I mean, first picture is kind of an wide shot, establishing shot. You typically would maybe use the 23 millimeters or maybe even wider. But luckily, the 27 is not so far away from the 23 millimeters. So you can get these establishing shots, so you can get these wide images. And I mean, truth to be told, with the 23 millimeters, sometimes I have this, when you go up or down, you get these kind of askew lines. And this doesn't happen so much with the 27. So there's a little hint of, I wouldn't say telephoto, but it's kind of a bit away from the 23 wide, but not being too wide, so you can capture these shots. So this is what I really like, and this is why I brought this picture with me today. But it's not all you can do with the film. Yes. So therefore, I brought some other pictures as well.
Yes. On the spectrum.
Yes, exactly. So this is, it's not an award-winning picture. So this is just a picture I took on a walk on my lunch break from work. And I saw this grass and kind of, water being there. There lies, these small droplets of water, really nice. And it's just an f2.8 aperture, but you can go, and it's not a macro lens, right? So, but you can go pretty close to the subjects, and you get some hints of bokeh. I wouldn't call it bokeh really, but it's kind of this vibe typical point and shoots gave you back then. And it kind of adds to the atmosphere of using maybe some fitting recipes to more add to the point and shoot vibe. So I really like that.
Yes, it's a lovely picture. It's really nice. And knowing how to use it that you have is part of it, and you clearly do know how to use it. So well done on that. Thank you.
Yeah, and the last one, Ritchie kind of hinted at it. I like car photography, classic cars, motorsports. And typically, when we talk classic cars photography, I like the 35 mil because you have that kind of, it's more, it's closer to your vision. The field of, not the field of view, but the magnification you get, but it's slightly telephoto. So you can have this kind of very, very nice pictures. So you can, especially these ones where you have these cockpits, the 35 millimeter is really good for that. And I was kind of experimenting if the 27 can do this as well. And as I alluded to earlier, it sits right in between the 23 and the 35, and it's just kind of that's tele enough that you can get these kind of images as well. So it's really versatile. You can get these wide shots, you can close in, you can have some really nice and sharp details, as we saw for these water droplets. So it's also a very sharp lens. So the characteristics are really, really nice. Really like the lens, and it sits very much the whole time on the XE4, and it's always with me. So it's really portable, really, really, really nice setup. Love it.
So you turn your XE4 into an X100V.
Yes, actually, I had looked at the X100V, to be honest, but the more I looked at the Fuji lineup and some kind of a everyday carry, I got even more interested in the 27 millimeters than the XE4. So, but the XE4 came with the 27, so I just took it, right? So.
Yeah, I can relate to that. But before I get to that, I just want to acknowledge David's comment here that he likes Robert's ability to find a frame within a frame, and that's really cool to be able to see that and envision that and make it come through in a photograph. So. But what I was going to say is when I bought my Fujifilm XE4, I had I wanted to get the body only. I wasn't really interested in the 27 millimeter. But then I thought, maybe I would appreciate the pancake lens aspect of it. But I was really hesitant because I already have the 35 f2 and I really love it. And that's a small lens too. And I really debated it, but then I finally went with it kind of hesitantly. But and I'm so glad that I did. It's my absolute favorite lens, Fujinon lens. The quality of it, for whatever reason, I don't even know how to describe the quality of it. There's a certain quality to it that just I haven't found on other Fujinon lenses, and the focal length of it is just right. The f2.8 isn't too limiting, and I don't know how to put it into words, but you just gotta experience. You gotta see the images, and so I definitely appreciate you showing us your pictures and telling us why you like it.
Yes, and
Sure.
Stephen also likes it, and I like. Sorry, Dan. I'll get to your comment just now, but Stephen just put a comment in the comment section about Robert's picture, and I think that's really funny. It's like, oh, I don't get a word in edgeway with those guys, so I'm just gonna write it on the screen.
You can speak up, Stephen.
Yeah, so great image. And then we had a comment from Dan who says that he thinks the Canon QL70G3, I guess, is a great film rangefinder with a 40mm lens and pairs perfectly with a digital 27. Okay, for under,
which is exactly the camera I'm shooting with film right now.
Okay.
It's a brilliant camera. And if they're going for $250, Dan, I'll sell you mine. It's amazing. Wow.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, what a great segue into what Stephen will talk to us about.
Let's make some noise!
Make some noise. Robert, thank you so much for sharing these beautiful images and some insight into shooting with the 27.
You're welcome.
And Stephen will talk to us about some lenses as well, but not Fuji lenses. He will look at other lenses because he loves to experiment with digital and film and old and new cameras and all sorts. So, Stephen, what have you prepared for us as far as what kind of lenses do you find intriguing and love shooting with?
Well, first off, I want to just applaud Robert and anyone that can frame up a good car shot because I struggle with that. And I've talked to Robert about it before. It's truly amazing. I mean, I have so many really horrible photos of cars, but I will continue to try. I get inspiration.
Say no more.
Yeah, I will. I would love to just chat about other lenses, and the lenses that I use are a fraction of the price of Fuji's pancake lenses and all other lenses. In fact, I think every single vintage lens that I have and use probably adds up to about half of what Fuji's new offerings cost. So, and when you pair it, you know, with a mirrorless camera, you can use all types of vintage lenses, all of which have their own character and their own little flair. So much like I would say Ritchie's recipes and Captain Look's recipes and everyone else's recipes, you know, that it gives us this toolbox. Lenses are just another tool in that toolbox to play with and to capture just something different. So I love putting a vintage lens on, going manual and challenging myself. So, you know, it's amazing. Like here, I got a couple props here. Like this is the little Pentax 110 camera, if you remember 110, but this is my hand for scale. And this is the lens. And you can actually, and I didn't know this until I was reading Ritchie's blog one day, but you can convert this with like a $10 converter to any of your mirrorless cameras. So, you know, I have a version of this on the XT30 that I have, and this is the 50mm version of this. But, you know, in comparison to like a regular old lens, here you have, let's see if I can frame that up for you the other way. You can actually see the difference in like lens sizes. So this
and that 50mm the 50mm lens there on your camera is actually, that and the 70mm are the bigger ones of those Pentax lenses. The other 100%. Ones are much smaller.
Even smaller.
Yes, indeed.
No way!
I mean, this is literally the lens, and there's zero vignetting that there's minor maybe on the 24, but somehow this thing covers the entire sensor, and so much fun.
Amazing.
I mean, you can literally take a 24-50 and a 75, throw it in your pocket, and have an entire. So I can't remember. Someone's going. Maybe Dan Allen, perhaps, is going to Isle of Skye and needed 3 lenses. Well, look no further. Here are your 3 lenses. Throw them in your pencil case and call it good.
Sure, that is amazing.
Truly amazing stuff.
And Stephen, for people who don't have any experience with shooting with other and non-Fujinon lenses, so you say there's a converter, so you obviously need to make sure that you can put the lens onto the camera. And do you then shoot focus manually, or do you autofocus, or how does this all work?
Yeah, so I mean, this is a converter. So it's just a metal tube, basically, that has X mount on this side, and this just happens to be M42. So the lens screws into here, and then you just put this right onto any mirrorless camera it works on. You'll notice there are no electrical contacts, right? So it's just literally a piece of, I don't know, probably aluminum or whatever. No EXIF data is transferred, so you have to shoot fully manual. And then I really never remember which, because you have no EXIF data, so I have no idea what lens is used for which. So it's highly recommended. This is purely analog, right? So it's mechanical on the camera, and then it's just like pulling a snapshot out of your photo book. You have no idea what camera and what. Well, you do know what camera that's in the active data, but you don't know what lens you used or any other data.
So there's a couple things. One thing, you have to go into your Fuji settings and put in there shoot without lens. You have to enable that.
Right.
And then the other thing is you can actually program when you're using these lenses, you can program into it. I forget what the setting's called, what focal length it is. Well, of course, you got to remember to change that when you change the lens, which I have a hard time remembering to do that. But but then it'll put in the EXIF what the focal length was if you remember to do that.
So that it'll
exactly right. Yeah, the shoot without lens is critical. Otherwise, you'll be stuck not shooting anything.
You'll push the button and it just won't do anything.
That's right.
Let's have a look at some of those images. So here is
indeed.
Thanks.
So this is the combo I use here. That's the Pentax 50. And the interesting thing with this lens is that it's f2.8 all the time. So it's a little bit of a mind bender when you go to shoot and you're wide open every single shot you take. So creates a really interesting challenge with depth of field. But with Fuji, at least, you have the magnification on manual. So I hit my back dial and it really magnifies the image. And then I have red zebra striping. So it'll show me what's in focus when I'm focusing manually. It's a lot of fun and it's great as a photographer. It's not so fun if you have friends or family that are non-photographers walking with you, because it takes time and patience to try to really get a shot right. But I showed this image here, and this is using the Portra 400. But I showed this because you can start to see, like, if it was blown up and a little larger, you can really see how narrow that depth of field really is. It's really, really tight. So, but with the mirrorless camera and that magnification, it does make it quite easily achievable to get a really sharp. And I tell you, it's amazing too, like that little bit of glass, just how really nicely manufactured it was, because the images are just amazingly sharp for what that thing is. So, I highly recommend it. $25-$50. I think you can get an entire like Pentax 110 camera with a lens or two for probably $50, and lomography makes the 110 film as well. So it's a blast.
Sorry, Dan.
And the other thing I'll add. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Yeah, this is the challenge that we were talking about when there are so many people on the screen and we have comments. But Dan was just, he was commenting that to set the focal length if you have IBIS. So that's for everyone who's shooting with those lenses. And then Jorge, he's also saying you can have several focal lengths and swap between them. If I think what he means is like if you have these small little lenses, you just pull them out your pocket and pop them on and bounce your uncle.
Yeah. And you have to go in the settings, to get the correct focal length in the EXIF and remember to change that. I do sometimes and then I forget other times and realize it later. But I was gonna say about this lens, the Pentax Auto 110 50 millimeter, is that when the light hits it just right, it gets this really, really cool rainbow lens flare that I've not really seen that in too many other lenses. So if you're interested in
it, yeah. First time I used it, it was wild. Like if you catch the light just right, it's a beautiful arc that you just move the camera and you get it exactly right. Yeah, agreed.
Very nice. So this is stuff for everyone who loves to experiment. And clearly there's almost no limit to all of this. And let's just have a look at some other images as well, Stephen.
Yeah. So I used to race. And so it's good to have alibis, in case you fail. So the old lenses are my alibis where I can always say, hey, I'm using an old lens, and it kind of makes up for mediocre photography. But this is a case where with this lens was the Helios 44-2. So it's just I'd say a quasi-famous sort of hipster lens, perhaps, made by the Soviet Union. And it was, and Ritchie can fill in the history here. But it's basically mirrored after like old Leitz lenses. So the Soviets came into Germany, took all of the plans from the lens factories and then ran back to Russia and made fairly inferior copies, but also definitely really cool. And this is the copy I have here is the zebra stripe copy. I have a couple of these, but what this does, and you can see it in this image, it makes that really weird bokeh so that it's known for its swirly bokeh. And this was a pretty decent example of it. And this was a Eterna bleach bypass formula. But if you get it just right, and I'm sure Ritchie has some better examples than this, but the bokeh that comes out of this is pretty trippy for sure.
Yeah.
It
makes for a lot of fun. But anyway, still.
Yeah, the background and the foreground have to be just right. I don't know the exact length, but you got it there, that picture. But when you get that effect, it's just wild. Yeah.
When you get it
it's
right.
A lot of it's true.
And let's round it up with a beautiful surf scene that we've seen so many of yours.
Yeah, so this is sort of double trouble, I'd say. This was the Eterna bleach bypass, which I found really sort of well, I don't know, depends on your style, but this definitely took that recipe and this lens, which is, and you can see the yellowing, I think, backwards here. Yeah. You can kind of see the yellowing in this lens. So this is an old Pentax Super Takumar, 1.4, and thorium was used in the glass. So it was and I'm sure there are a lot more technical people out there than me, but the thorium was used to help with the glaring in the lens, I believe. But over time, the thorium would break down and it would yellow, just as it broke down. So the lens gives a very distinctive amber cast to photos. And then when I add this use this with Eterna bleach bypass, which I think this is a good example. If you're looking for a particular look, you can pair certain recipes with certain vintage lenses and get a very distinctive look. And I did a whole series of these that day of these photos, and it just, I thought it really accentuated the overcast and the thick, dark clouds and just the mood of the day. But I think this is a good example of, pairing a recipe with the right lens and getting a very different look than you could get. You might be able to do this in Lightroom or Photoshop, but this was straight out of camera with an old lens, which I just think makes it that much more satisfying. But highly recommend these lenses. And so shooting with a radioactive lens is also kind of exciting. Yeah, radioactive, right? Yeah, freaky.
Did some research, on these lenses. I have not yet been shooting with vintage lenses, but talking about all of this and seeing the images, I'm sure everybody else also finds it very inspiring, just like the typography as well. And I can't believe that this is, radioactive stuff. That is like that, Stephen, that's pretty trippy.
Yeah.
But
very mildly radioactive.
Just mildly. Very.
Yeah. I have all three of the lenses that Stephen mentioned, and I will say amen to his suggestions here. They're all really great, and I have the lens that Robert had suggested to us, and so I echo their statements. If you're looking for 4 lenses, follow their suggestions here.
Right.
So there's amazing inspiration to be had, and yes, and if you want to not only have fun but also want it to be light on the pocket, like Jorge is saying, then those are also really good choices. I'm sure everybody is now itching at their fingers. Well, I am. I'm like, okay, I need to get some vintage glass.
Will not break the bank.
Yes. Well, that's what Stanley is saying. That's the only reason why he would agree to this. And William saying, Stephen, I use a number of legacy Nikon lenses manually. What tips do you have for managing the weight? These old lenses are
Contact 110. This thing weighs about as much as my camera strap. So highly recommend one of these. Yeah, no, that is a good point. I mean, even this piece of metal, there's so much glass in this old Pentax lens that, it's hard. I like to throw one vintage lens in every time I go out. So definitely not a bag full of them. But yeah, can't help you there. They're pretty heavy. All metal and glass.
Excellent. Guys, we are only running about half an hour behind schedule, which is nothing new for us, really. No. And I'm sure we could carry on speaking here forever and ever. I absolutely love it. But we wanted to give everyone a taste for what it's like. And, Stephen, we've had you on the show before. Robert, we haven't yet, but maybe that's given you, a bit of a taste that you want to come back, and we will see you in the new year and we can chat. Who knows? David says it was really interesting, Stephen. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Yes. So from, both of us to both of you, it's been really phenomenal. Thank you so much for all those insights. It's more like we are rustling up the troops. I hope everybody, behind the scenes is still with us, has been watching, and they've been able to take a bit of a break. Sorry, you guys don't really get that. We're going to hop on into the next part of the show, and going to try, like I said, try to defy gravity, try to do something crazy that's never been done before.
Never done before. This is something the internet has never ever attempted. Yes. You will not find this anywhere else on YouTube or anywhere on the web. Or this is a brand new try here.
Yes, and you are about to witness it. So thank you again, Robert and Stephen. We're going to call on the other troops, and let's gather together and take a bit of a moment before we move on to the next section. Everybody is still here. That is fantastic.
Yay.
Great to have you all back.
Let's make some noise!
Everybody, it's been phenomenal. It's been really great to get an insight to what everybody is doing and shooting with and so forth. And I hope everyone in the audience also, enjoyed that a lot. And are you guys ready for what we're about to anticipate? William is saying, great presence of mind, Dan. Nice photo. Thank you. Not quite sure what photo he's referring to, but it's one of Dan's. So thank you for your comments. We are hanging out here for a moment. If people in the audience have questions, if they want to say something to any of our guests, and also if you guys have got any questions or comments, we've all been looking at so many images and been speaking of touching on, various subjects that you kind of like come across eventually when you're shooting straight out of camera. And I think it's an amazing journey to be on. So it's wonderful to have people, like-minded people, to reach out to and to chat about. And obviously all the amazing articles that Ritchie writes for us.
In this show, one of the things that's so great about it is that it's about community. It's about you guys out there in the audience. It's not necessarily about us. And so, we're all on this journey together, and it's great to have the guests come on and join us. And, for those that are out there not being live guests, you guys are writing these comments and participating, uploading your photos. That's great. But, we're really here for you. So, ask us anything about straight out of camera, about Fujifilm, about photography, whatever it is, whatever you want to know more about, we really want to help you. So this is your chance, and, just take it. Don't be afraid. Send us a little note.
Yes, absolutely. We want to connect, like, we always say, and just really be helpful if we can in any which way. But I think what we are going to try and anticipate now, we have no idea whether it's going to be helpful or not, but we had this crazy idea to celebrate and go out of this second season of SOOC by building our own recipe alive. And please bear with us. Like we said, we've never done this before. None of us have. Maybe some of us have never even built any recipe in any which way or form. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we need the help from everyone. So we need the help from our live guests. We need the help from our audience. And this is how this is going to work. Oh, hello, Mario. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. That's cool. And Carl also thinks that there was so much insight shared. Absolutely. Yes, I'm glad that you... and yeah, it's just about to go crazy. So what we are going to do is we have a couple of parameters that we have chosen that make up a recipe for the older cameras, because once we have all our settings together, we think it's going to be so popular that we want to make sure that everyone and anyone will be able to use it, no matter what camera you've got. So we've left out a few of the settings that make it a little bit more difficult or narrows it down because it's only available in newer cameras. Yeah, and how are we going to try and achieve all of this? It's going to be completely random and by luck, hopefully. We'll see.
We'll see if we got good luck or bad luck.
Yeah. No matter what, it's going to be interesting, and we hope that you will enjoy this process. So we have a few different ways how we draw different parameters. and we're going to hop in by choosing the first couple. We have our wheel that you usually know from when we draw a winner for the app. That we've modified a little bit. We've got help from our awesome live guests who will choose a couple of parameters for us. And then we also have our poll that we've been training you guys on over the last couple of episodes. But we are choosing a different path this time around. So we've shared this link in the comment section. That you've all got it and that you have the browser open, because we now need you to start interacting with it. And this is where we will ask you poll questions. You can already be on that link if you're not. And as soon as a poll question comes up, you will see that. And then we would really appreciate your answer. And then we will see what comes up. And I've got the app, Ritchie's app, open here on my phone. And we will use the section where you can enter your own recipe. In case you didn't know, Ritchie's been so kind to include that in the app, that you can also make up your own recipes and put in parameters. So this is exactly what we will do. And we will fill in the parameters as we go along. And then once we are done with all the parameters that we've got, we will ask you all to quickly dial the settings into your camera, take a quick picture, and upload it to the normal upload that we always ask you to use to share your pictures with. And then we will have a look at the first tries that people have managed to take with this recipe, whether it's overly blue or whatever funky colors, or maybe it's really nice, who knows. And we will look at those images, and then, we can fine tune what you can take with that recipe over the holidays. Have I forgotten anything?
Nope.
Are we ready
to start? I think we're ready to jump in.
Okay, let's do this.
Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking too
blah,
much.
blah, blah.
I get it.
Blah,
yes.
blah, blah.
Let's do it. Okay. We are going to set our first parameter, and that is, where's my list here? We're going to choose a white balance, and we're going to choose a white balance using our trusty wheel. We thought we start in kind of like known territory. So we've got the wheel, and we're going to just spin it and see what it pops up. So wish us luck for that. And while this is going on, okay, while this
somewhere
is going,
so well.
I'm getting prompted from the tech team at the back that my phone dropped the connection. This is why they couldn't see it. So I'm going to be in trouble for that. But I'm connected again now. And while we're on the topic, I want to give a big shout out to our team in the back. They're always doing amazing. And today there are so many new things that they have to battle. So big up, you guys are doing great.
Including sound effects.
Yes, especially the sound effects. There's still, a couple of things that we have to get through, but I am convinced that that's going to be great. So,
say no more.
Okay. This is the recipe, and we're going to switch to our wheel to choose what white balance we're going to have. And it's all festive here. And all we need to do is press the wheel and let's get this party started. Let's see. What do we start with?
Get something crazy or something fairly normal? Daylight.
Fairly normal. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
We're starting out with daylight. Okay, I know there were some people.
My camera here, and I'm going to be programming it into my camera as you're programming it into the app.
Yes, I will be programming it into the app, and I'm looking at white balance, and I'm putting in daylight. There we go. Typo, enter. First parameter set. Great stuff.
All right.
Cool. Promising. So far, daylight. What do you think? Disappointed? Are we disappointed or excited? Mario, are you excited about daylight?
I think it's a good start.
Good. All right, we're off to a good start, people. The next parameter that we're going to set is dynamic range. And this is where we ask everyone for your cooperation. We are going to launch a poll because we would like you to establish what you would like the most. So not so much random, but rather by choice. Very democratic. So if it's, you've got the choices between auto, 100, 200, or 400 in dynamic range. So we are asking you to give us your take, and then majority wins. So, yeah.
Let your voice be heard.
Yes, we want to. Dan, do you have any choice or any favorite dynamic range? Is it something that you pay particular attention to, or?
Yeah, depends on what I've got working for clarity, really, because they're two different things, but they do kind of work together. And if you hit that dynamic range too high, and you've got a high clarity, it really slows down your camera.
Yes, excellent input there. That's great. Yes, so let's see what we can do. Randy wants us to use 200. Okay, let's see. Randy, I'm not sure if you are able to hop on the link. So if you want to choose 200, you can vote through our poll. The link is in the comments. So you can just click on that. It will take you to a browser, and then you don't have to put in a name, and then you can vote whatever we are asking you to do. Robert has heard. I hope everybody else has, and everybody in the audience has. And as soon as that is done, we will get the results onto the screen. Please bear with us. It is quite technical for the guys behind the scenes. There are a lot of different inputs that we've got so that we can show to you what everyone is voting. And, to really make it.
This is like one of those shows where the audience gets to decide who gets voted out, So we're all waiting for all
We're only voting in, we don't vote out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The opt-in, the stuff that is now, legal, all the poppy stuff and whatever. We're only opting in. And so really excited. We haven't used this before. So as soon as the guys are ready, I can hear a lot of busyness in the background.
The hamsters are turning the wheels.
Yeah, you will notice that there hasn't been a sound effect.
That's how you know.
Because I'm busy with other things.
No way!
Of course.
Oh, they must got it done.
Yes. And let's show us the results. I think we're almost ready to pop over to a screen. We just need to make a little space. So everybody scooch up a little bit to the top of the screen so that we can put the poll at the bottom. Not really. The guys will do that for us. Yeah, exactly. We will all lift up as soon as that's done. We will have a look. There we go. So this is the interface, and as soon as all the questions are in, it will come up and show us the results. If you've tuned in a little bit late or you can't find the link in the comments, you can also scan this QR code here that you see on the right, which is quite handy, or you can use the link right next to it to get to our vote. So let's have a look. See here. Well, I think that is by clear almost majority. We are going to max it out. Yes.
We are 400.
Great. So yeah, absolutely. We don't like to play it safe or anything of that sort. So let's put in our dynamic range at 400. Dynamic range at 400. Coming up. There we go. So 400 it is. Dialed in, locked, and ready to move on. Well done. Okay, taken shape. Next up, we will be asking all of you guys to help us along with randomly choosing some parameters for a couple of different values. And we're going to go through, and you've all prepared something for us, whether it's a hat and you pull out a number, or you've got an app on your phone, or whatever the case may be. But I think we are starting with Dan. Let's start.
Yes.
And you don't necessarily know exactly what it is that you are choosing, so that we can make it really super random.
Yes.
Do you know that you need to now draw a number? How are you going to draw a number for us, Dan?
I've already asked one of my children for numbers, so I already know them.
Okay.
I'm prepared.
That is fantastic. So we so what is your number?
Well, what for what? What am I numbering for?
Well, this is the one that we're not telling you, and the only thing
Right.
You find out after you tell us the number.
Yeah. Well, the number is 3.
The number is 3. The number is, and very honestly, I really don't know what the value is that we assign to you.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of an oversight from my behalf. So I need to wait to get the prompt to get that value in, and as soon as
guys in the back know, right?
Pardon?
I said the Stanley probably knows, right?
Yes, Stanley knows, and Stanley will be very upset with me right now because I didn't put that number in. I didn't think I needed that. I don't know why I didn't think that I needed that. So I'm waiting for the guys to tell me, and then I will put the value in. Thank you so much. I've got my list now.
Well, thanks, Dan.
Oh, good.
That was a smart way to do it. Ask your kids to pick the number.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Absolutely.
They don't know what numbers they're picking, so it works out great.
Yes. So the mystery lifted. Thank goodness. So Dan, you picked the white balance shift red.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
So the white balance shift red is going to be +3. Interesting. There we go.
Yeah. It's already shaping out to be a good recipe, I think.
Yeah.
I like where it's headed.
Yes. Excellent. White balance shift is red. Okay. And now we are going to do the white balance shift in blue. So that is Mario. Mario, you have to give us a number between -9 and +9 for your white balance shift in blue. And what have you chosen as a technique to give us that number?
Yeah, I have a random number picker here in my browser, and I will click it now and then say you the number.
Okay.
So I'm also excited.
Drum roll.
It's -5.
-5.
-5.
Say no more.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, now we got to talk about something here. What if this ends up being? What if we randomly pick a recipe that already exists?
Kodachrome.
We won't tell
When the
him.
gig is up, we know that's what Ritchie does all the time.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
I ask my kids to pick a random number.
Yes. That's very cool. Okay, here we go. White balance shift in blue is -5. Okay, fantastic. That's not too shabby, I think. Excellent. Great stuff. Thank you, guys. That was really cool. And let's see, where are we heading to from here? From now, here we are going to ask Enrico. Enrico, you are going to give us numbers for the shadows and the highlights. If you've tuned in later, you will know that you will not know that we lost Simon. Simon Hughley was supposed to join us as well and partner up with Enrico, but unfortunately he's sick. And so Enrico has the pleasure of choosing 2 numbers for us. So Enrico, you will choose the highlight settings first. So we need a number between a -2 and +4. And what method have you chosen?
An app.
And that is very cool.
Okay, so
you go. So highlight.
The first number is, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's +3.
Okay, +3 for highlights. Nice.
It's a good thing we got DR400.
I would love to be inside your brain now, Ritchie, to see going and what on earth is that going to be? Do you have any idea what this would look like up to now with these values?
I think the film simulation will be a big tell for.
Yes, that's why we're.
It's definitely got good potential. Maybe like a Kodak-like colors of some sort, you know.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, exactly. All right, and then let's throw in the shadows as well. Enrico, what do we got?
Okay, let's see if I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Okay.
Doesn't really show.
Okay, +4.
There we go.
I like Rico's transparency here.
Oh my God!
Yeah, okay. +4. Okay. I don't think you have a recipe like this already, Ritchie, do you?
No, probably not. This is going to be have a little bit of contrast.
A bit.
But the DR400 will help. You'll be able to kind of bump up the exposure a little bit and still record some shadow detail.
Yes, exactly. Well, the cool thing will be, the challenge will be to, use this recipe to still make something. So find a way where this is, working.
But, we could still get Eterna or Pro Negative Standard or something that's got lower contrast and
good.
Yeah.
Yes, we will see. All right. Thank you so much, Enrico. This is cool and taking shape. And we are moving on to, what are we doing? Next, we are doing, I've got so many papers on my table that I'm getting a little bit confused here, but wait.
Robert's ready with his hat.
Robert is ready. Okay, fantastic.
Oh my God!
All right, Robert, you are going to tell us what sharpness we are going to shoot with. And you're choosing a number between -4 and +4. I can hear the analog way. Robert's analog.
-4. All right.
Oh, sharpening. Okay, -4 it is. Look at that, guys. -4. Great. Thank you, Robert.
Great stuff.
Okay. Cool. And then we are moving on to Stephen, who will give us nice. Will choose a number -4 and +4, and how will he do that? Stephen, what are you
I'm going to
choosing?
use an Excel formula called rand between. So
Oh,
something
No
different.
way!
No, fancy on us.
So I'm going to hit F9, and after hitting F9,
Yeah.
4
After
+4.
+4. Interesting.
We are going +4.
It's random.
Very random indeed. Nobody would choose these numbers. We like 4.
Yeah, we got a lot of 4s.
Yes, we do. Okay, awesome. Thank you, everyone. That was fantastic.
So what do we got left? Film simulation in color?
That is what we have left, film simulation and color.
All right.
And we will first choose, no, and grain we also need to choose.
Oh,
So
grain, yeah.
Yes,
That's an important one.
choosing color. Now that I found my paper again, we are choosing color, and we are going back to our trusty wheel to see what value we're getting on the wheel. So as soon as we are ready, we're going to hop over there and spin that. I hope everybody in the audience is also making notes. You can open up the app and dial in those numbers as well, or write them down, because we want you to take a photo. Remember, don't forget that. So you can even take your camera right now and already put those settings into the camera so that you're ready to go as soon as we've got the film simulation set. But here we are looking at our cool wheel in blue. And let's see what it will give us for color. Okay, not another 4. And the color is
0.
Okay, so let's put into the app the value 0. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Right.
There we are.
There we go.
Almost there.
Yes. And now it's back to everyone. Rescue us and tell us how grainy you want to go. You have a choice. Go all out. I think we have lots of experimental friendly people in the audience. Since we went with dynamic range 400, I can only imagine what you're going to do with grain. So your votes, everyone, and let's check it out. Let's see where we get to. Going. We should have some background music playing in the meantime, but maybe I shouldn't give the guys too many ideas. While we are waiting for everyone to make their vote, and
we need like that Jeopardy song playing.
What is the Jeopardy song? I don't know the song.
Oh, you don't know that one?
No.
Oh, I'm not gonna hum it for you. I'll spare you that.
No. I thought I could get you tempted. But you were saved by the poll, and we've got results. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, it's still, they're dynamic. They're changing.
Yes. We just had another response, but it looks, of course, you had to go strong. That is, interesting. Let's keep it going. There are still votes coming in.
What?
But,
that's your chance.
But we are up on old school. So I think old school it will be. So the grain is going to be strong. So let's put in some strong grain. And there we go. This works really nicely. Excellent. We are skipping color chrome effect and color chrome effect blue because that's not available in the older cameras, and we are
if you have those like XT3, XT30, just set those to off.
Exactly. So if you don't have a value, set it to off and dial in all the other ones. And now for the big reveal, right at the end, the only one that's left is a film simulation. Let's put a hat on it. Let's put a Christmas hat on it, and let's give it the final adjustments that it needs. Let's hop on over back to the wheel, and let's spin it, and let's see what we get. Okay, who's all hoping for an Eterna or something? Do you think Eterna is still helping, or Enrico?
Yeah, I think if we get Eterna, that would be the most ideal. I think Pro Negative Standard would be good.
Yeah.
Something with lower contrast.
Yeah, since we've got a lot of contrast there already. All right, let's see.
Velvia then maybe.
Pardon?
So Velvia then maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yes. Okay.
You took black and white out though.
It's about to get revealed.
Yeah, it's just color film sims.
Yes. Let's do this. Okay. Yeah, Randy, we feel.
Oh my God!
Okay. Classic chrome.
There we go.
Wow.
This will be interesting.
Classic chrome. Here we go. And guys, here you have.
That's it.
A mystery recipe revealed. If you're only tuning in later, we have finished baking a recipe with completely random ways and random numbers and values.
No way!
Yes way. We are looking at a recipe that calls for classic chrome with a dynamic range of 400, with a strong grain effect and a white daylight balance. A white balance shift rate is 3. The blue one is -5. Highlights are +3 and shadows are +4. Yes, Jorge, indeed. Then we have a color value of 0 and sharpening -4, noise reduction +4. Now our challenge is dial it into your camera, take a picture, and then you can. Tate is saying, "Oh my goodness, yeah."
And while we're doing this, if you guys have an idea, you guys on the audience have an idea of what this should be called.
Yes.
Write a comment. Let us know what you think the name of this film simulation recipe should be.
Yes, exactly. So dial it into your cameras, take a picture, and then upload it to the normal link that you always upload your images to. And then we will have a look at them live because we roll like that.
Yep.
And while we're doing all of this, I'm also trying to dial in the settings into my camera. So
I'm gonna take a picture.
Yeah, if you got it, everything set already. I'm talking too much. Everybody's going, so it will be interesting to see. Dan, it's just the two of us. I know. I don't think I'll get a chance to dial those settings in. So you can see here, we're looking at my phone. It says the folder is empty. This is the folder that the images will come in on. So I hope that will populate quickly with some images. And Dan, you said for you it's a little bit tricky those settings in like straight away.
It takes me a long time to put in settings, so I thought I'd let these guys do that.
Yes, absolutely. That is fine. So at least you're not leaving me alone. I've got someone to chat to. That's very cool.
Well, and I'm hoping to take this recipe out on an episode and see what I can do with it. So take it out and try it in all kinds of different ways. So
I think that is really cool and a very, very nice offer that you're going to,
well, check back with me on that one because it'll be a challenge, I'm sure.
It is, absolutely. So Jorge is asking what link is that. So the link to upload your images, you always upload for the viewer slideshow. If you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, you can either check in the comments. I'm not sure if we posted that link there, the upload link. Otherwise, you can also go to the website, SOOC. If you don't know the description of the show, and on that website, you'll find the upload link, and you can just quickly go there and navigate there. It's just SOOC.live. If you put that in the show's website, and you'll find the upload link and deposit the picture there. And then you'll see, I'm checking on my phone here. There's nothing there yet, but I'm sure something will come through. And we have an image. We have our first image. This is very nice. This is an image that Ivar uploaded. I see a lot of shadows. This is nice. This is a picture of all of it. It's like a group photo. Thank you, Ivar. Thank you so much. Jorge, please let us know if you're coming right with the link. If not, then we need to put it into the comments. I'm not sure which channel you're watching on. But I don't know, Ritchie, are you able to maybe drop the link in the comment section on your
Sure, I can. Just give me a second to I'm getting to the link.
Yes, cool.
Right as we speak. Okay, here we go. I will add it. So for those wanting the link,
yes, Ivar, thank you. You made a picture of your
there
screen.
we go.
See that? That's cool. Thank you so much.
As is typical with the Fuji app, I'm unable to connect to my camera.
Oh no!
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Sorry.
What a piece of junk app.
So supposedly they're working on a new one, so hopefully it comes out soon.
I heard.
They should have consulted me on that, but
for sure.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm uploading mine right now, so hopefully it comes through real soon.
Okay, let's see.
So maybe a suggestion for another show would be how people manage the workflow of getting images from their camera to a computer.
Yes.
I mean, I've tried dongles on my phone, for example, when I'm out, and that just downloads a raw file. I've had a hard time getting the JPEG. I'm not sure why.
We've got images coming in, people. So this is the one we saw from Ivar, and then we have this image from Jorge.
Nice.
He found the upload link. And this is really cool.
Yeah.
This is very moody. Thank you, Jorge. This is nice. It's so festive. Thank you. That is very cool. And here is Mario's picture.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, it is, it's a bit contrasty. Yeah, we see that. But who needs details in the shadows?
Yeah.
Might be good for a really low contrast scene.
Yes. Jorge says, Stephen, the good old turn it on and off does it for him. So he's talking about the app and the not being able to connect. It does often work. Whoa, look at all those. It doesn't always work. It often does. Let's see. Then we have Ritchie's.
Yay.
Very cool.
There's some slides on there.
Yes, very nice. Awesome. Very, very cool. Very nice and straight and neat.
It took a little while to set that up.
Nice. And then we have Subography's image. And that is...
Cool.
Let's see. Zooming in. This is interesting.
What is that?
It's like,
at first I thought it was like movement, like a long exposure. Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay.
It's not
Say no more.
It's not funky glowworms growing out of a.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's movement, and yeah, it's
cool.
Regular movement. Let's see. Have we got any more images? Let's check it out. Oh, look at that!
Oh my!
This is Andreas. He shot this image.
Okay. Yeah. The amazing thing to me is that we literally just created this, and here are the pictures. I mean, that's amazing that it could be just that instant.
Yes, it's cool. Hey, we wrote. And then we have a daylight outside picture from Dan. So this is what it looks like during the day. Very cool. Oh, David.
I like David's suggestion. The Secret Santa recipe.
Yes, that's cute. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then also very cool. Nice. This is awesome. Cool. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Geniuses.
That's a great idea to do this.
Yes.
Hey, there we are.
And then these ones we've looked at already. Great stuff. Let's have a look-see. And there's another one, which is the new one that came in. Carl Reif sent us this.
What record are we listening to? That's the question.
Let's see. What record are we listening to?
Can we see?
We can see it. No, we can't. We will never know.
Carl, just have to tell us.
Yes. Lovely. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. And I think...
I'm having zero luck. I apologize. I would contribute. Still connecting.
Okay. Yes. And Randy sent us his try, also in daylight. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I'm dying to try it out as well, but since I'm already so challenged with the phone and all my papers, I decided to rather focus on this. And yeah, so I will definitely try it out later and then share those images too. And I think that's everyone.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was really cool.
That was cool, hey?
Well, thank you everybody for participating in this whole, like, you know, we did it. We did what's never been done before. We attempted the impossible. We made a film simulation recipe live on YouTube, and now it's available for everybody to try, and we'll get it into the Fuji X Weekly app really soon.
Yes. Yeah, we still had, Robert, your image just came in as well. But before we go back there and have a look at that, we would like to get input from you guys what we must name this recipe. So we have Secret Santa already. Then we have a couple of other suggestions. So hit us up with your ideas as to what we must name this recipe. Who says dinner? Dog who gets a delicious dinner like that. Crazy Days is what Randy thinks. And yeah, to keep the ideas coming. We will I think to kind of like decide. This is Robert's image. Thank you.
Okay.
This is really nice and moody and look at the fireplace right next to it and just making it really nice and warm.
Yeah, Santa's keeping warm.
Yes, very. So I think we probably have quite a lot of suggestions there in our poll app there already. So I think we need to decide which one we are using.
Okay, so what are the jazz?
Jazz.
Listening to jazz. Yeah.
Milt Jackson.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
No way!
And I thought that could be for a recipe, jazz.
Yeah, I mean that's the Opus Dei Jazz could be the recipe name.
Santa's jazz. Okay, what else have we got? Live Madness from Standy. Can we see? Oh no, random. Santa's random jazz. Secret. And we had a dog. And Dog's Days, I think we had as well. Crazy Days.
Crazy Days.
Crazy Days.
It's gotta be days, like dazed and confused or something. Crazy Santa.
Daisy Santa. Daisy Santa. SOOC Rando. And Rudolph Rednose. Yeah, very cool. Mystery Chrome.
Oh, Mystery Chrome.
Mystery Chrome.
Okay. I like that one.
Yes. Also do. I feel we need to bring Santa in there maybe a little bit as well. Don't you think so? Like something Christmassy, festive.
Santa's Mystery Chrome.
NBD. Randa Claus. Okay. I think secret sauce.
Yep.
We need to make a decision. I don't think there is a way for us to see all the different suggestions all at once. Epic Santa color.
Okay. We do have a Santa color recipe. It's kind of different, but
it ever so slightly different. Maybe a bit eating. Secret Santa 2020. Too many options. Okay, let's cut it off here. Let's have a quick think. I have another. I think we should run another poll. That the guys in the background will now take and put them in a poll. And then everyone can vote. And before the show, because there's still a couple of things that we need to do on the show before we end. And so everyone's got time to vote for their favorite name before the show. And then we will reveal that result just before we end. And then that is that. How about that?
Well, that sounds good. Let's do that.
Yes. So, yeah, so that's it. We did it, guys. We did it.
Yay. Well,
only however much time. It is 9:30 by me. We have been, well, we said it would be the Christmas bumper episode.
It really is.
It really is. That's great. But I think I had a lot of fun. Did you guys have fun? Yeah.
Yes.
Fun? Yes.
Yes.
Lots of fun.
Enrico, lots of fun. Absolutely. He's muted. Sorry. Fantastic. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal. It's been wonderful to have you here and for all your input and everything. And I hope that you, took this as a nice experience and just some lighthearted fun and think about if you want to come back next year. As well. If you want to join us, just give us a shout out and we will make it happen. This applause was for you guys. Thank you. You've been troopers.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, our SOOC gang. We will now let you go and get on with your day, evening. Hopefully no more work for you, Stephen. And go and shoot some recipes and share with us what you get. And we can't wait to see you again and connect with you. Stay well, stay safe, and stay in touch.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye for now.
Okay, Nathalie.
Yes,
now
and it's just us.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. That was great. We had some really good guests and really good conversations, and did the impossible and made a recipe, and
yes,
but we got more.
Yes, and we're still not at the end of the show. Exactly. So what we are going to still need to do is we need to tell you what to shoot, because if you are not as experimental, or you think you don't want to shoot your entire holiday season with our mystery recipe, not that I would know why you wouldn't want to, we have had prepared earlier in the show recipes for the festive season, and we selected 4 for you to choose from, and we thought that this would be really awesome for you to try out to shoot throughout the festive season. Since we are, closing the year and we are stepping it up for the new year, we thought we'd leave it at that, so you can check out the recipe. Here we are all very confused. I'm like, what must I do? I was not on the wrong screen. We are going to look at what recipes we have selected. Sorry, this is all a little bit backwards and forwards and very challenging for the team in the background. They're doing a phenomenal job. Now here we are back in the right place. We have selected 4 of those recipes that you can choose. Winter Slide and Superior Premium 400 were just 2 of those. The other 2 were Timeless Negative and Cinestill 800T. So I think a great selection.
So shoot with those 4. Shoot with the new mystery, whatever we're going to call it. We haven't decided the name on it yet, but the recipe we created. So you have those 5 to choose from, right?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And then upload them, and in the next show we will take a look at your pictures.
Yes, exactly. So you can just upload whichever. Shoot with whatever you want. You can also shoot with something different. We really don't mind. The upload folder is open and you can share with us. Just do us a favor and put the name of the recipe that you shot with into the file name, so that we know what you actually shot. And yeah, bring it on. Send us your images. You've got lots of time to do so. We will look at those images in our first episode of the new year, which will be on Tuesday, the 7th of February. Oh my goodness, that looks like so far away now. But yeah, it'll come.
You upload your images by Tuesday the 7th, and then the show will still be on Thursday the 9th.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you so much for catching me there. I think, yeah, I'm getting a little bit cross-eyed. I don't know about you guys, but
well, it's been such a big episode. We've talked about so much, and we're starting to get tired, I guess. But we're going to continue on and finish this up strong. And
yes, we will until the bitter end.
Pull up the bootstraps and keep on trudging.
Tell us part. So we are doing that, and everyone who's been uploading to this episode stands a chance to win a 12-month subscription of the Fuji X Weekly app, a little pre-Christmas gift from us to you, and a thank you for uploading your images. And we are going to establish that by lucky draw. So everyone who's entered automatically stands a chance to win. So as soon as the guys are ready, we will hop over to our wheel in the trusty normal fashion, and we will see all the numbers of everyone who submitted, and then we will see who is our lucky winner this time around. And before we do that, we want to make sure that we remind you that you can join us as a live guest. And in kind of like a zoomed up version, we are going to our live draw. Okay, Here we are. We are on our trusty wheel, and so many of you uploaded, so thank you so much for that. It's been absolutely phenomenal seeing all your images. And if you haven't seen them in the pre-show, you will see them at the end of the show, or at another time when you feel like catching up with those awesome images, all taken in Ektachrome. Let's have a look and see who our winner is for this evening. Let's spin the wheel, and the winner is Andrea. We're setting a trend. Last time Bo de Lange was a first time submission, and he won. And this time around it's Andreas, and he's here and happy. Congratulations! Thank you so much for uploading your images, and let's get in touch, and exchange details, and let's get you up and running on the app.
Yep. And so just send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, whatever social media you're on. Just send me a direct message, and we'll get in touch, and we'll get it all. We'll get you your prize.
Yes, fantastic.
Congratulations.
Yes, congrats. It's a great pleasure. Wonderful stuff. And
it's great that he was watching, because a lot of times we do these and the person who wins isn't actually live with us at the time that they won. So that's really great.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's not a must that you watch, but it's obviously really nice to see your reaction. So cool. It's wonderful to wrap up the season with a win like this. Nice.
Yep.
And here we are.
Hey, we're all back.
We're almost all back. Yes, we are, because I can tell you why. Because we threw the guys at the deep end and said they need to run a poll so that we can establish the name. And this is kind of what we prepared when we run the poll. So, happy or not, but you guys are back, at least half of you, and we are looking at who the winners are. And because we also have a small window, we have too many name options, and it is going to get revealed soon. Ooh, Mystery Chrome looks like a good option here. We have live match.
Got a couple more minutes though. If somebody wants a different name, this is your chance.
Yes, make your vote, make your voice be heard. And Randa Claus is also in the running. Okay. Ooh, Mystery Chrome. It looks like Mystery Chrome has got a very good chance to make it. There is a couple more up top. Shame the guys in the back probably like, why did you have to do that to us? And waiting away, but I think it's worth it for a really good name. It's going to live with us for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many stories will be told about it. And Mystery Chrome keeps on growing on 60% now.
Oh, wow.
And it keeps on growing. It keeps on growing. That's fantastic. That's nice.
Yep, and I'll go shoot with this the next today and tomorrow and try and get some pictures and get it in the app pretty quickly.
Oh, that is fantastic. I can't wait. That is very cool. We're making history, guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're on 67%. Oh, someone changed their mind. Or maybe someone voted for something else.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, but I think Mystery Chrome it is.
Mystery Chrome.
Yes. Should we nail it down? I think we must nail it down.
Let's put it down on the paper.
Yeah. Okay, and here's the moment that I've been waiting for a long time. I drink to our Mystery Chrome.
There you go.
Let's marry everything. I like that cup. Nice. Cheers. Thank you to everyone who's been making this happen, and to Chrome.
Yep.
And we did it.
We did it.
If you would like to join us and have some fun with us next year, please get in touch. We are more than happy to get you on one of the shows and meet you and introduce you to the rest of the family. And yeah, let's have some fun. Let's do this. Think about it. You've got some time over the festive season. Mystery Chrome for the win. There we go. Okay, fantastic. So if you want to come on the show and have as much fun with us, please give us a shout out.
And it is a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. And it's not always 17 hours or however long the show was. But we said we're going out with a bang, so this is what we are doing. And it's a great thank you to absolutely everyone who's been involved in this and in the whole year. Ritchie, to you, thank you. You've spent a lot of time, throughout this whole season. It's been an interesting year for you, and you still made time. You came live, tuned in from all sorts of places. And a big thank you to our audience. You've submitted month after month after month amazing images and made them available for us to show with the rest of the community. Here are all the people that have submitted images throughout the season, and it fills my heart with absolute joy to see that. We had over 60 different people.
Fantastic.
Submitted.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I think this is just absolutely wonderful. So thank you. Big shout out. Keep it up.
Thank you, everybody.
Mystery Chrome, Winter Slide, or whatever it is that you fancy, and keep those awesome JPEGs coming. We will see you again on the 9th of February. with an all-new Season 3. Carl Reif, it's an absolute pleasure for being with us all this time. It is an honor and a pleasure. And it is now time to say goodbye, Ritchie.
Yeah, but just for those who missed the slideshow, the viewer images slideshow at the beginning, stay tuned. It's at the end as well. So if you missed it at the beginning, stay tuned. It'll be just a moment.
Yes, there is still a few more minutes of SOOC left, and Randy says thank you. Herculean efforts this year. Thank you. Thank you, William. All you guys, it's been absolutely phenomenal. And thank you, David. Yes, very Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a wonderful festive season. I'm glad it was fun, Robert. And happy holidays to you too, Ivar. And to Randy. We are saying goodbye now. But before we go, I'm going to part with something just to connect back with the way we started the show. And it's all about fun. I'm going to end this with a little bit of an experience that I've had a while back, the way that I started my new year. It so happened on the 1st of January, and I wish this not on anyone. So hold on to your cameras, take lots of awesome JPEGs. This is it from us.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
We will see you in the new year. Goodbye.
Just to make it particularly nice. No! Oh gosh.